Good morning. Good morning, friends. How are we all today?
Good.
Good. You guys gonna make sure you get out and enjoy that sunshine. It's really pretty out. Let's see.
It just started raining where I am.
Okay,
It's
so
raining too.
wow.
What was that, Jude?
You know what, guys? Go dance.
It's been raining all night for
In the rain. Anyway, moving on. I wanted to draw your attention to a couple of things to make sure that you and your families are all like caught up. On the CCS homepage now, there is this online academy. So if you go to the link that says Stay Safe CCS, it talks about all this. Your parents were sent an email and they posted it to the news and stuff. What I wanted to explain to you guys is this talks about what the district is implementing for everybody. But what I want you to realize is that I've already done that. So they want you guys to be using iReady and they're going to document that, but I already put that in place because I knew this was coming. So I'm already having you do the iReady stuff that they talk about. So I'm probably not going to give you as much work as I would have given you besides iReady if we weren't doing iReady, because I don't want you to be overwhelmed. But you're responsible for anything I give you. Do not think that you have to do anything extra on top of all that. Now, if you want to read a book, that's really not a bad idea. Hold on.
I had a problem like getting books online.
Okay, what? Sorry, Ella, what?
I was having problems getting ebooks online with the Columbus Metropolitan Library.
I asked about that. So all of your little library card, your success badges have library cards on them, and you need a PIN, like a password. It's your birth year.
I thought it was like our whole birthday.
Just it's just 4-digit birth year. So 2008 or whatever it is. So try that, and if that doesn't work, please let me know. I'm also going to put up a link today to the, wow, I can't remember. It's like a national library, lending library, and it has a whole bunch of ebooks, and you can check out to like up to 10 at a time. On the Columbus Metropolitan website, I know they also have audiobooks. So if that's something you're into, if you like want to go play outside and listen to an audiobook, like you can download those too. But it's really, really cool what they're doing through the Metropolitan Library in Columbus. They have a lot of ebook resources. So check that out. Okay, so in terms of anything extra you need to do, just if I assign it, you're responsible for it. If I don't assign it, you're not responsible for it to earn a grade. Does that make sense to everybody?
For the ebooks, is there a limited amount of time you can have them?
I think it's like a typical library book. I know before all of this happened, I would use that. And I think you get them for 14 days, but you do have the option to renew them. Any other questions? Okay, so I'm going to show you your email. Do you guys know that you have an email?
Yes.
I'm literally on it right now.
Okay, so some of you have accessed this email. So if you scroll down to this, there's this student email access. Okay, so as of Monday, you guys all had an email address. Your email address is your student ID number at columbus.k12.oh.us. You gotta just plug all that in. And your password is the password you always use. To get to your fancy new email account, what?
Do we use dashes?
Yes, you use the dashes in your.
Okay.
So you go to ccsoffice.org, and there's a link on that page I just showed you. And then you guys will be asked to sign in, but I'm already signed in, so that was a little confusing. But this is what your email will look like. So you can email anybody that has an @columbus.k12.oh.us email address. So if you guys have a specific question for me and you want a faster response than like Google commenting on Google, you could always email me. I check it a few times a day. So in the to spot, you can just start typing someone's name. So you could just start typing Audrey, and my name is gonna pop up. And then you would click on my name. And then you would make a subject like sup teach, need the help. Maybe use proper grammar, but you know what, it's an example. And then you would type your message to me. You could even attach things, like if you take pictures and you want to send me pictures of your work this way, that's cool too. And then you'll hit send. But I'm not going to send that because.
Wait, what did you say the password all like?
It's your birthday. It's the same password you use for everything. Like, it's the exact same information you use to log into Google.
Oh,
what is this site called?
I'll go back. It is ccsoffice.org. ccsoffice.org. And that will take you to your thing. Aiden, you have a question?
One of my friends told me that I can also do it on Outlook. I can look it up on.
Yes, you can. If you have Outlook, you can look it up there. That's what it takes you to, is like online Outlook. Any other questions about email? Okay. So start using this, guys. If you are having issues with your tech access, like you can't log into something, or I don't know, I have some people that can't get into Google Classroom for some reason, please call this number. Again, it's on this website, the Stay Safe CCS page of the CCS website. So if you need anything with technology, like logging into stuff, not like, hey, I'm missing a computer, I need another computer, but logging into things. There's also new things coming out. Which I don't know where it is, but let's see if it's in academic resources. I think that they are still working on getting some technology out to everybody. And if you guys, I know the Dispatch had an article about it, but I don't have that link right now and I don't want to look for it because I want to get to class. But if you guys are wondering, like if you guys need more technology access or something and you're not sure how to get that, you need to reach out to us. And we can help you get that set up. Okay, we good with all of that nonsense? Yeah, okay. So on Tuesday, I posted these 3 iReady things. A lot of you have already been working on them. These are due April 20th, so the Monday after spring break. As of tomorrow, I will not be posting any new things for a week because tomorrow starts spring break. So yeah, I'm not gonna give you any more work. You need a break, I need a break, everybody needs a break, so take a break. In terms of turning in iReady stuff, just click the turn in button. There's nothing you can post. There's nothing you can attach to it. I have to just go to iReady and look for it. But if you click turn in, then I know that you think you're done. So I can go look for that. Sometimes I've gone and looked and there's like no progress. And so if you think you're done and it's saying, no, you're not done, I need to figure that out. So that also helps me on that end. So please try to remember to click the turn in button. Okay, so you're out of the dust homework. I'm gonna go ahead and click on this. Complete the form. So when you click on it, it's gonna open up this form. This is my version of it. So I'm just gonna show this to you. So this form is called Examples of Theme, Life is Better Out of the Dust. We're just gonna do that. So one of the themes in the story is the idea that life is better out of the dust. Using everything we have read in the book so far, describe and briefly explain 5 events and images from the story that support this theme. We can do and or. So there's just 5 spots where you're going to give an example, and I want you to just briefly explain it. So maybe your example is when her friend moved away, she was sad that her friend was moving and she wasn't. She wanted to get out of the dust. And how does that support the theme that life is better? She really believed that getting out was going to be better than staying where she was, even though she had no idea what was happening in California. That's it. Few sentences. Questions about this? No?
So do we just have to give an example like from the book?
Yep. So you'll give an example. You would say, well, I can't type it because I'm in my version. But you could just say something like, I don't remember her friend's name, something Killian. When she moved away, Billy Joe was jealous because she wanted to move with her. This this shows that life is better out of the dust because even though she didn't know what California was going to be like, she thought it would be better than where she was.
Okay.
Don't make this harder than it is, guys. I don't need full paragraphs. I need just tell me what you're talking about. Tell me what the example is. Give me a little brief description and then explain how that shows that life is better out of the dust.
Are you doing this right now?
Can you do it right now?
Well, yeah.
Whatever. I'm going to be reading. So if you want to follow along with that, that's cool. Okay, so we were reading Out of the Dust. We're going to read a little more of that today. Ella, this is due April 21st. So you have some time. Okay, so last time we were together, we ended with the poem Freak Show. Does anyone remember what that poem was about? Don't all speak at once. Nobody? Okay, so remember there were those quintuplets that were born?
Oh, yeah.
And a guy like took their picture and they were kind of taken away from their parents. They were put on display. And then that photographer, here it is, that photographer, James Kingsbury, comes to Joyce City looking for more strangeness. So that's where that came from. So those kids were made into a freak show. And this is where it talks
Billy
about
Joe think that she was going to be a part of the freak show?
Yeah.
Or something that she was becoming it?
That's kind of what she was worried about. So at the end of the poem, it said, Mr. Kingsbury's pictures of those Dion babies got them famous, but it also got them taken from their mother and father and put on display like a freak show, like a tent full of two-headed calves. Now I'm wondering what will happen to us after he finishes taking pictures of our dust. So that's an interesting question. Okay. Help from Uncle Sam. Do you guys know who Uncle Sam is? Does that mean anything to you? Okay. Uncle Sam is something they call the government. The United States government. I don't know if you've ever seen like this picture, this army recruitment poster from way back in the day. This guy his name is Uncle Sam. They've named him. And he is a representation. He's a symbol that means the United States government.
Why is there one that's so scary?
You know what? People are just weird. Okay, so when she says help from Uncle Sam, she means help from the United States government. Does that make sense? Cool. The government is lending us money to keep the farm going, money to buy seed, feed loans for our cows, for our mule, for the chickens still alive, and the hog, as well as a little bit of feed for us. So the important part here is lending us money. So it's expected that the people they give the money to will pay the government back. My father was worried about paying back because of what Ma had said, but Mrs. Love, the lady from Farah, assured him he didn't need to pay a single cent until the crops came in. And if the crops never came, then he wouldn't pay a thing. So my father said, okay, anything to keep going. He put the paperwork on the shelf beside Ma's book of poetry and the invitation from Aunt Ellis. He just keeps that invitation from her, glowering down at me from the shelf above the piano. April 1935. Let down. I was invited to graduation to play the piano. Oh my gosh, what's happening? Sorry. My computer's being dumb. Okay, sorry about that. I was invited to graduation to play the piano. I couldn't play. It had been too long, my hands wouldn't work. I just sat on the piano bench staring down at the keys. Everyone waited. When the silence went on so long, folks started to whisper. Arlie Wanderdale lowered his head and Miss Freeland started to cry. I don't know, I let them down. I didn't cry, too stubborn. He got up and walked off stage. I thought maybe if my father ever went to Doc Rice to do something about the spots on his skin, Doc could check my hands too, tell me what to do about them. But my father isn't going to Doc Rice, and now I think we're both turning to dust. May 1935. Hope. It started out as snow. Oh, big flakes floating softly, catching on my sweater, lacy on the edges of my sleeves. Snow covered the dust, softened the fences, soothed the parched lips of the land. And then it changed. Halfway between snow and rain, sleet, glazing the earth, until at last it slipped into rain, light as mist. It was the kindest kind of rain that fell. Soft and then a little heavier, helping along what had already fallen into the hard pan earth, until it rained steady as a good friend who walks beside you, not getting in your way, staying with you through a hard time. So I think what's key for this part of the poem, do you remember the poem where she talked about rain and there was this huge massive storm and it all came down at once and the ground wasn't able to soak it up and it just washed everything away? Hopefully what you're saying to yourself is, yes, I totally remember that. So she's talking that this is the kindest kind of rain, soft and a little heavier. So because it's coming down softly and steadily and not like just one big downpour, the earth is able to start soaking it up. So it's not just going to run everything out of the ground. It's able to soak it up now, which is a really good thing, because when it was harsh and fast, the earth didn't have enough time to kind of slowly soak it up, so it just washed everything away. And because the rain came so patient and slow at first, and built up strength as the earth remembered how to yield instead of washing, oh, the water slid into the dying ground and softened its stubborn pride and eased it back toward life. And then, just when we thought it would end, after 3 such gentle days, the rain came, slamming down tons of it, soaking into the ready earth, to the primed and greedy earth, and soaking deep. It kept coming, thunder booming, lightning kicking, dancing from the heavens down to the prairie, and my father dancing with it, dancing outside in the drenching night with the gutters racing, with the earth puddled and pleased, with my father's near-finished pond filling. When the rain stopped, my father splashed out to the barn and spent 2 days and 2 nights cleaning dust out of his tractor until he got it running again. In the dark headlights shining, he idled toward the freshened fields, certain the grass would grow again, certain the weeds would grow again, certain the wheat would grow again too. So do you guys remember when we talked about mood and how the way a poem is written can give the reader a feeling? This poem is called Hope. And by the end of it, I really felt hopeful, because this is the first time in years that they're getting a good soaking rain that didn't destroy things, but is going to actually help things. So I just think that is really cool. The rain's gift. The rain has brought back some grass, and the ranchers have put away the feed cake and sent their cattle out to graze. Joe de la Flor is singing in his saddle again. So again, you get this really hopeful feeling as a reader. Hope smothered. While I washed up dinner dishes in the pan, the wind came from the west, bringing dust. I just stripped all the gum tape from the windows. Now I've got dust all over the clean dishes. I can hardly make myself get started cleaning again. Mrs. Love is taking applications for boys to do CCC work. Any boy between 18 and 28 can join. I'm too young and the wrong sex, but what I wouldn't give to be working for the CCC somewhere far from here, out of the dust. Hey, guess what you just got an example of? La 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 la. So do you guys feel the difference from the 2 poems right before this? They were so like, oh, everything's gonna work out fine, and then this one's like, and no. Am I talking to myself, or are you still with me?
I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm listening.
Thanks, guys.
I'm listening.
Brilliant. Okay.
This is sad.
It is sad. And I think what really kind of makes this one really hopeless is this: I can hardly make myself get started cleaning again. She's just like, I'm done. Like, what do I do? You can't, if you just keep wiping off the dust and then the dust keeps coming, you're just going to perpetually keep wiping off dust. It's like laundry. You can never have all of your laundry clean at one time. Sunday afternoon at the Amarillo Hotel. Everybody gathered at the Joyce City Hardware and Furniture Company on Sunday to hear Mad Dog Craddock sing on WDAG from the Amarillo Hotel. They hooked up speakers, and the sweet sound of Mad Dog's voice filled the creaky aisles. Arlie Wanderdale was in Amarillo with Mad Dog, singing and playing the piano, and the Black Mesa Boys were there too. I ached for not being there with them. There was nothing more most folks in Joyce City wanted to do than spend a half hour leaning on counters, sitting on stairs, resting in chairs, staring at the hardware and tableware, listening to the hometown boys making big-time music on the radio. They kept time in the aisles, hooting after each number. And when Mad Dog finished his last song, they sent the dust swirling, cheering, and whooping, patting each other on the back as if they'd been featured on WDAG themselves. I tried cheering for Mad Dog with everyone else, but my throat felt like a trap had snapped down on it. That Mad Dog, he didn't have a thing to worry about. He sang good all right. He'll go as far as he wants. Why is she so sad?
I think she's sad because like Mad Dog just kind of left him there, and now he's having a great life.
So, but shouldn't she be happy for him? He's her friend.
But he also kind of just like left them there.
What do you mean? Was he supposed to bring her?
No, but like
He could have, but he didn't.
What else do?
also he's doing like the same thing that like she used to do with him, and I think she misses that.
Yeah, I mean, remember, she was about as good as he was at performing, if not better, especially on the piano. And now he's off getting all this attention, and she's still stuck at home. What else might she be sad about? Because she has this, he'll go as far as he wants. What might that mean for her?
I think he has a thing for her.
Who said that?
Aiden,
what'd you say?
that she can't play the piano anymore because of her.
Right, so she could have probably gone pretty far, now she can't, but somebody else said something else.
Oh, that was me.
What'd you say?
I said, I think she has a thing for him.
For sure she does. A couple poems back, she talked about how she was having feelings for him, and now what, Jude?
And now he's gone performing.
And is he likely to stay? If he's so
probably
good?
will stay and go perform still some more instead of just like doing this performance and coming back to Joyce City or whatever the thing is.
Yeah, I mean, the likelihood that Mad Dog is going to stay in their little panhandle town forever when he's so talented, probably pretty slim. So the guy she likes is leaving. Baby. Funny thing about babies, Ma died having one. The Lindberghs said goodnight to one and lost it, and somebody last Saturday decided to give one away. Reverend Bingham says that Hardly Madden was sweeping the dust out of the church, tidying things up for Sunday's service, when he swept himself up to a package on the north front steps. He knelt, studying the parcel, and called to Reverend Bingham, who came right by and opened the package up. It held a living baby. Reverend Bingham took it to Doc Rice. Doc checked it, said it was fine, only small, less than a 5-pound sack of sugar, and a little cold from spending time on the north front steps. But Mrs. Bigman and the Reverend warmed the baby with blankets and sugar water and tender talk, and the whole of Joyce City came forward with gifts. I asked my father if we could adopt it. But we stood about as much chance of getting that baby as the wheat stood of growing, since we couldn't give the baby anything, not even a ma. Then he looked at me, sorry as dust. And to make up for it, I pulled out a box with the rest of the clothes Ma had made for our new baby and told me to drop them by the church if I wanted. I found the dimes Ma'd been saving, my earnings from the piano inside an envelope, in the box of baby Franklin's nighties. She had kept those dimes to send me to Panhandle A&M to study music. No point now. I sat at her piano a long time after I got back from the church, imagining a song for my little brother, buried in Ma's arms and a keel overlooking the banks of the Beaver, and a Nell looking over the banks of the Beaver, imagining a song for the Lindbergh baby stiff in the woods, imagining a song for this new baby who would not be my father's son. May 1935. Old bones. Once, dinosaurs roamed in Cimarron County, bones showing in the green shade, ribs the size of plow blades, hip bones like crank bones, and legs running like fence rails down to a giant foot. Chill shoots up my spine, imagining a dinosaur slogging out of an Oklahoma sea, with turtles swimming around its legs. I can see it sunning itself on the swampy banks, beyond it a forest of ferns. Almost easy to imagine gazing out from our house at the dust-crushed fields. Easy to imagine filling in all the emptiness with green. Easy to imagine such a beast brushing an itchy rump against our barn. But all that remains of it is bone, broken and turned to stone, trapped in the hillside. This once upon a time real live dinosaur who lived and fed and roamed like a ridiculous long-necked cow, and then fell down and died. I think of a moment of Joe De La Fleur herding brontosaurus instead of cattle, and I smile. I tell my father, let's go to the site and watch the men chip away with ice picks. Let's see how they plaster the bones. Please, before they ship the whole thing to Norman. I'm thinking that a dinosaur is getting out of Joyce City 100 million years too late to appreciate the trip, and that I ought to get out before my own bones turn to stone. Hey, look, more evidence of the thing you need to be doing for homework. But I keep my thoughts to myself. My father thinks a while, rubbing that spot on his neck. He looks out the window, out across the fields, toward the Nell where Mom and baby lie. Best to let the dead rest, he says. And we stay home. Yikes! All right, well, that's where I'm going to stop.
So sad.
This is sad.
Yeah.
There were some hopeful parts. What was sad about that dinosaur one? Tell me. You guys are saying it's made you feel sad. What about it made you feel sad?
Like,
I don't like how she keeps on talking about the baby that's dead. It makes me feel sad. She lost her baby brother.
Yep.
and then
Huh?
and then she's
Getting me
and then
tired.
talking about like how she's like, why couldn't she's like, this dinosaur is too old. Why can't I just be the dinosaur? Like, she's like saying I want to leave, and like, but she can't.
She's jealous of the dead dinosaur getting to leave.
Exactly. She's desperate.
She is desperate. For sure.
Me tired.
I never knew this book would take such a sad turn.
How like the beginning was like, oh, I feel bad for her having to be in this dust thing, and then we're like, oh my God, her life's a nightmare.
These are facts, Jude. These are facts.
Seriously.
Any other thoughts you guys have moving forward?
Well, it makes me tired, kinda.
Makes you tired?
Mhm.
Why does it make you tired?
I don't know. It just makes me want to fall asleep.
Okay. Ella?
And just
Sorry. How did you see something like happy in the dinosaur poem?
Oh, that's a really good question. Do you mean because like my voice changed?
No, you said it was like happy.
I think she means like.
I think parts
You
of it
said
were.
how is the dinosaur?
I think the part where she's imagining this part. A chill shoots up my spine, imagining a dinosaur slog out of an Oklahoma sea. Like this is just this whole part where she's imagining it. I can see it sunning itself on the swampy banks. Beyond it, a forest of ferns. It's almost easy to imagine gazing out from our house at the dust-crusted fields. Easy to imagine filling in all the emptiness with green. Easy to imagine such a beast brushing an inky rump against our barn. So she's talking about her imagination and like she's having fun with it, picturing like this huge dinosaur like scratching its butt on her barn and walking where it used to just be this green, lush, beautiful place. That part, her imagination part, is really fun. But then she's like, but it's really nothing.
Darren's like Godzilla
Yeah. So
in chat.
this part then gets sad that it's all that remains is bone, this once upon a time real live dinosaur. But she thinks again and she gets amused by this imagination of imagining Joe de la Fleur hurting Brontosaurus. And so that's another little moment where she's like, that's funny. But then it gets sad again because she's like, I wish I was this dead dinosaur because at least he's getting out and I'm here. Does that help answer your question? Cool.
I did the assignment from listening.
So it wasn't that hard, yeah?
No, I just turned it in.
Wait, we had an assignment to do.
Well, it's due the 21st. She's just saying she completed it just through listening what I was just reading. She found enough examples to use to finish her assignment.
Oh.
That's what she's saying. Cool. Well, guys, that's all I've got for you.
Really?
That's
Bye.
it.
Bye.
Bye.
Break.
Yes.
Can we do a little test email thing?
Bye, dude.
Yes, Melinda. I can do that. Do you want to try
Bye.
emailing me and see if it works?
Bye,
Okay.
people.
Bye.
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 Enjoy your spring break.
Bye, ready, Okay, and now.
I have a lot of people talking over each other, so I'm not sure if anyone's trying to talk to me.
Bye. Enjoy your spring break.
Hey, Layla. Layla, before you
Yes?
go, are you guys still working on getting your technology stuff worked out?
It doesn't. It works on my laptop, but not on my computer. I mean tablet.
When you say it, what do you mean? What's it?
I mean, iReady doesn't really work on my laptop, but I mean my tablet, but it works on my laptop.
Okay. So you can use your laptop though? Okay.
I just have to share with my brother.
Gotcha. Zalika, we left off on page 192 of the PDF.
Okay.
Are you thinking about the actual book, or is that what you were asking about?
What did you say? I couldn't hear you.
Did you want the page number of the PDF or the book?
The PDF.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, right at summer 1935.
Okay.
Okay.